One day after a News for Jax I-Team investigation reveals a local roofer facing multiple felony charges, we're asking the city some tough questions as to why he was allowed to legally work in Jacksonville over the past 2 months. Roger Vandenbosch, the owner of Kinnicor LLC, was arrested this past Monday on charges that include fraud, but that wasn't his first fraud arrest. He was previously arrested back in October. We wanted to know why, up until yesterday, he was legally allowed to conduct business as a contractor. Kinnicor CEO Roger Vandenbosch's first felony arrest was on October 25th for workers' compensation fraud after investigators say he didn't secure workers' compensation coverage. But even after the 41-year-old bonded out of jail following that arrest, the I-Team has learned the troubled contractor continued to secure city permits for jobs. The I-Team uncovered 11 permits were pulled in Jacksonville for roofing and plumbing projects after his arrest. Vandenbosch also recently pulled a permit for a roofing job on November 2nd in Clay County. And he pulled 2 permits for work in St. Johns County on November 6th and the 26th. It's customary for contractors to obtain a deposit from homeowners before they do the work, which is why the I-Team is concerned about the consumer. 2 days after Vandenbosch's arrest Monday on 5 more felonies, the city of Jacksonville suspended his license. Investigators working for Florida's chief financial officer say Vandenbosch defrauded clients out of more than $50,000 by taking money, including money from insurance companies, and not doing the work. His charges include insurance fraud, forgery, and grand theft. And in a hearing yesterday, the judge agreed to lower his bond. We asked the city of Jacksonville why he was still allowed to collect Floridians' money following the first arrest. A city spokesperson told us that the process to suspend his license did start on November 8th after they learned of the first arrest, but the city then learned he was in compliance with workers' compensation rules, so they didn't suspend his license at the time. Now, Roger Vandenbosch posted bond this afternoon. The city of Jacksonville telling us that the most recently issued permits have now been put into what's called a work stopped status due to this suspension. Now, we also reached out to Clay, Nassau, and St. Johns County to find out if they knew about his arrest because he's been pulling permits there and why they continued to allow him to pull permits and accept deposits. We're still waiting to hear back from them.